I was diagnosed at the VA with post-traumatic stress syndrome. One thing I think I thought of a lot was a sense of guilt that I came home and other people didn't. I was over in Iraq for Phantom Fury. That was it was a pretty intense experience, one I'll never forget. I got out in 2006. I brought home a lot of anxiety from there that just really kind of got worse. Nothing to where I lost it, but I closed myself off from a lot of things, and including my wife and my family. So I just have a strange way of dealing with things, a lot of social anxiety. I didn't know how to deal with it when I come home. You don't know how to tell people what, a lot of people, I think that didn't help either. A lot of people want to know, hey, what was it like, and you didn't want to answer them questions. What do you want to talk about, death? I mean, those type of things. And people, I don't think people really understand what that does to somebody. Mm-hmm. So I never knew how to deal with it other than close it off. So when you close it off, you just kind of separate yourself from people. I go into a restaurant looking for exit points, and that, making sure my back was where I could see everything. I knew where we could get out if something happened. That constant mode of protection. I just felt like, even though I was home here, a part of me was still left over there, and I was still living that way. I carry a gun pretty much everywhere I go, and didn't matter if I was going to the store at night just for paper towels or whatever. If she wanted ice cream or something like that, I'd find my gun first and then look for my wallet. Usually I'm downstairs where there's the least amount of people, or bugging her, texting her, let's get out of here. Mm-hmm. My 14-year-old is real big on the military, and that's what he wants to do. And it used to be hard to watch certain movies with him. I'd get up, I couldn't watch it. It's been a great experience. After that 8th session, I had a 3-week gap before I had to come back, and it was around that time during the Christmas break I had some personal issues. We talked about that with my company losing their contract and a new company coming in, and my wife noticed that I wasn't panicked or I didn't have anxiety over it. And one that I didn't care, nothing I knew about it. And that's when she started pointing out some changes. The anxieties just weren't there like they used to be. There was very calm and just a sense of peace, I guess, in my life that I haven't had since before I left. Just calm.
Yeah.
Find a positive way to work through things. And I can't explain that. But now it's a little easier to talk about it. I don't make it the center point of conversation with people, but one thing she really noticed was we went to a family Christmas party, and there was people that I never really had conversations with, and I sat right at a table, and she said something at the end of the night. She goes, I can't believe you sat there all night talking to the people you were talking to. I'm like, well, they were good people. And so that was different for me. It was actually an enjoyable evening, and so she pointed that out the whole way home. She noticed I wasn't taking the gun. I was just grabbing the wallet, hurry up, get out of there, and come home. I'm finding myself now, that was one thing my wife noticed over the break, is there was a couple of times me and him were watching some war movies, and I watched the whole thing, and that was fine. And that was a first for me. I can't explain it,
right?
But it happened. Yeah, and I was able to engage with my son. He was able to ask questions where in the past he did, and I would try to deflect the question or just didn't want to talk about it. But I explained some things to him, and he has a good understanding of some things I saw and I did. And I didn't really have a lot of anxiety telling him about it.
Well,
but
yeah.
I don't think I would just openly engage that with a stranger, but I'd hid that enough from my son that it was time to discuss it with him, so he knew.
Right.
And I didn't feel bad for doing it, and I didn't have anxiety talking about it or anything. And Actually, it was a good conversation. I would think that I would see it as there's no boundaries for me now. As to where maybe emotionally I felt there were limitations for me. And maybe that future results in a different career path. For the first time since 2006, I see a life with no boundaries. I will forever be grateful to the Brain Life Center for helping me out.